Launching off of the success of the original PlayStation games in the 1990s, a toy company named ReSaurus, famed for their dinosaur and video game inspired figures, began producing Crash Bandicoot merchandise. The Series 1 line of figures was released in 1998, and as Crash Bandicoot 1 was old news by then, it focused on the new characters from the Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back game. Cortex, Coco, Tiny, Komodo Mo, Crash, and a Jetpack Crash variant. When Warped was released in 1998, it was followed by the Series 2 line of figures in 1999, featuring characters from the new game. Dr. Engine, who was missed from Series 1, Dr. Entropy, Jingadile, 2 Crash variants, High Flying and Deep Dive Crash, as well as a Wave Rider Coco variant. This series was also accompanied by a Moto Crash and Coco Bandicoot Duo Pack that could be bought exclusively from the ReSaurus website, making it incredibly rare today. Honourable mentions for unrealized ReSaurus figures go to the Roman Tiny figure that was supposed to be released with Series 2, as well as Crash Bandicoot's motorcycle, which was originally supposed to be released with him in the Moto Pack. ReSaurus also hinted at a Dead Crash figure, but this was never created either. And that's all without mentioning the giant plush toys that ReSaurus had planned to release too. The following year, a third series was planned, featuring characters from the original game, such as Ripper Roo, Pinstripe Potteroo, Koala Kong, Dr. Embryo, and Papu Papu, as well as an Arctic Crash variant. These were displayed at Toy Fair in the year 2000. However, in order to secure the licensing for Crash Bandicoot, ReSaurus was forced to take on the job of producing action figures for Universal's new movie, Virus, which was a flop. And despite sales of Crash figures being some of the best the company had seen, the Virus line was a disaster. This, along with quality control issues caused by factories in China, gave the Crash product a bad image and stunted sales. But there were other things at play here. As documented on FigureArchive.net, founder of ReSaurus, Doug Sapp, started a new company in 1999 named Encom that provided business to customer services, trying to cash in on the dot-com boom of the late 90s and early 2000s. The article reads, Sapp started Encom because he had a lot of trouble handling all the aspects of ReSaurus' e-commerce operation. Quote, "We tried doing e-commerce ourselves, and then just proceeded to fail to handle the customer service side of the business." End quote. With the owners trying to invest more into the e-commerce sector, we can assume that making the Moto Crash and Coco Pack an online exclusive was their strategy to get more people to visit their website and buy online. This unfortunately backfired. Encom was unsuccessful and dragged both companies down the drain. This all topped off by a $400,000 lawsuit they lost, filed by Ace Frehley from Kiss, who said ReSaurus didn't have permission to produce replicas of his famous guitar, and the fact that the cancelled lines such as Gex, Speed Racer 2, Abe's Odyssey, Badlands, and so on, had all been tooled and prototyped, took a massive financial toll on the company, and ReSaurus went out of business in 2001. So despite initial designs and sculpts being made of the Series 3 Crash Bandicoot figures, they were never produced and were lost forever. Until now. One man has endeavoured to bring these figures back to life, someone who goes by the name of VDVortex. And I have been lucky enough to purchase 2 of his figures, Dr. Embryo and Ripper Roo. So let's get into the review. I'd like to take this time to give a shout out to the designer of these incredible figures, Mr. Kenneth Lilly, a huge inspiration of mine and an incredibly talented artist. I can't describe how much these figures mean to me and so many others around the world, and we have him to thank for them. So if you want to see more of his artwork or just go and pay your respects, check out his Instagram at Creatus Maximus and show him some love. Link in the description below. Head over there. So I hope you guys enjoyed that introduction and a little bit of the history of the ReSaurus figures. And here are the 2 boxes that I got from VDVortex. As you can see, obviously he's just a guy, making things. He's a one-man show, so the boxes aren't anything like, amazingly special, but they are pretty stylish, I must admit. And they do have the VDVortex sticker here, which is lovely. I'm so excited to open these. Obviously I haven't opened them. Haven't seen them yet, but just the idea of having the Series 3 figures that we never got to see in the flesh is amazing. And I must say that, and why perhaps I saw one person's argument about these was that VDVortex was stealing the designs and making his own product, but I showed the images of these figures to some of the people who used to work at ReSaurus, and they said they were awesome, and it's so good to see them in the flesh. Anyway, let's open them up. I don't know which is which. I don't know which is Embryo, which is Ripper Roo, but I must say the postage was really quick. Came all the way from Italy to Japan really, really quickly. So the boxes are really easy to open. There's no tape or anything. There we go. Okay. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Who could this be? I think this is Embryo. Okay, because I can see this leaflet here. Okay, let's open this up. Wow, there's a huge piece of paper in here. Let's see if we can get all of this in. Dear customer, thank you for purchasing from VDVortex. This is an art object, not a toy. I think that's really important that for people to know that this isn't a toy that you can give to your children they can play with. This is like for collectors. There's a lot of stuff here, tips and stuff, articulation, rotate his arms, grab them from the shoulders. If the arms come off, don't be alarmed, just put it back in. Be gentle during assembly to avoid scratching. Oh, I think I might have to actually put all the pieces together myself. This will be interesting. And then it's also there in Italian. Legal notice: this is not official merchandising. I have no license from the legitimate owner. They are just art objects and fall into the category of fan art. Oh, this is exciting. So here's the box. As you can see, he's packaged it really nicely. I'm just going to move this one over. He's packaged it really nicely. I think we'll go into detail with the packaging for this box, and for Ripper Roo, we'll just we'll sort of just show him as he is. Well, yes, I can see it's in a few different pieces. So first out, we have the beakers that he, of course, holds, and you can see there's little pegs on there. I didn't know that they had those. Kind of cute. So he can hold onto those beakers and then throw them at you. Then we have the... Oh, this is great. This is what ReSaurus should have done back in the day. A nitro crate that's like fully sculpted. And the relic is inside too. There's the little relic. These are incredible. How has he made these? I don't know. The man's a genius. Right, let's open these boxes. So, here we go. It's actually really, really clean. Surprisingly, for something that's completely handmade. He's obviously hand-painted all of this. It's really, really gorgeous, and it's all 3D printed. It's filament printed, so if you look on the inside where it hasn't really been sanded, you can see lots of lines, so you can have an idea of how it was made. There's a nitro crate. I don't know where to put it. Can you see it here? I guess you can. Let's open the lid of the nitro crate. So the idea of the ReSaurus crates was obviously that they could open up, but also that you could store things inside them. You could store the other accessories inside, and so he's really continued that philosophy here, except he's made it so that it's a solid piece, which, to be honest, for a nitro makes complete sense. Put that on top. Look at that! Isn't that gorgeous? And we'll open the relic here too. Isn't the relic just beautiful? It's got like a little stone in the middle there. Really gorgeous. Platinum relic. Lovely. With this one as well, you can kind of see that where it's been printed, but for the relic it kind of works. It really looks nice. And let's open his beakers, his potions. His potions, when I was a kid I called them potions, but I don't think we can really call them potions, can we? Because he's a scientist, not a wizard. There we go, there they are. And the kind of the painting on of the actual liquid, kind of where you can see the stepping of the printer, kind of gives it a little bit of a liquidy feel. It adds a little bit more texture in there. It's really nice. Okay, so we'll put the accessories here. We'll move on to the main attraction. Here is the boy's head, and here is his body. Okay, so I think mine has been put together, semi-put together. One arm's out. Okay, yeah, there's one arm out here. It's really sweet. Yeah, you can't even see that it's been filament printed, really. You can see the little hole in his hand there for holding the beaker. Okay, let's get... He's so gorgeous, look at this. I'm being very careful because I know it's not a toy, it's an art piece, so I don't know if any of the paint might come off. I don't think it will though. He's really good with what he does. Look at that, that's incredible. It's just an embryo body. And on the bottom, of course, he has VDV, which just goes to show that it's not a it's not an official toy. Okay, so we take this arm and I think we just pop it in there. And then we can move his arms. Look at that. Oh, and they swivel as well. Swivel. They go up, they come down. Excellent. Oh, bloody hell. Alright, so he said that could happen. Just pop it back in. And all is well. There you go, look. So it's kind of nice that he's done that, because ReSaurus figures are notorious for breaking very easily, but he's gone for a kind of really simple joint mechanism here so that it's really easy to put everything back together once if it falls out. I think the only place that doesn't look very flattering on the figure is right here, where you can kind of see all the stepping of the filament right there, but you know what? It's an art piece, and from the top it looks gorgeous. From the top you wouldn't know. It looks honestly beautiful. Alright, we'll pop that there. This is a totally honest review, by the way. I mean, I would consider VDVortex to be a good friend. We've been talking a lot. We're absolutely obsessed with these figures. So, but I'm not doing him any favours. I mean, this is my genuine thoughts on the toys, on the art piece. Oh, it's just so amazing. Like, this is just exactly what ReSaurus would have wanted to make. The perfect shape. Look at that head. Like the guy 3D modelled all of this himself. Can you just imagine how talented one has to be? Because this looks almost exactly like the picture that ReSaurus drew before they made it, and I'm sure it looked exactly like their sculpt. Again, the only problem, I guess, it was probably printed this way, and so the only problem that you get up here is a little bit of that, but like, honestly, like, it's nothing. Look how gorgeous this is. Incredible. And there's his little nuts that he tightens to squeeze his head every time he upsets Cortex, or so the law says. Snap his neck in like this. Oh my god, I don't know how far is far enough, really. He's quite a tall toy, actually. He strikes me as being quite tall. Look at that's incredible. Oh, this is every Crash Bandicoot fan's absolute dream. I think they can fit in both hands, actually. Okay, that can fit in there. Trying to remember which way they go round in the game, but I just can't remember. But there we go. Would you look at that? And I think his head, his head also articulates. So he can be like, what are you doing in my laboratory, Crash? And then he throws his little beaker. Incredible. I think mine's heads need to go in a little bit further. Oi, 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 oi. Do his feet move? Oh, his feet move! What is it supposed to move? One foot moves at least. This one doesn't move. Oh, it does, it's very stiff. Hell yeah, well. It's more articulation than Cortex or Engine got. Just look at that, it's an absolutely glorious figure. It's incredible. Let's move this around so we can get a little bit of a close-up on the stuff that we've got here. I wonder if that'll stand. Yes! Would you look at that? How cool! Oh my god, I can't believe it. Now I'm so excited to get Ripper Roo opened. This is amazing, like, I can't believe I'm seeing this in front of me, an actual Embryo figure. And it's just so perfect. We'll compare them with the actual ReSaurus figures in a minute. Let's open up the next box. Oh, and in fact, we'll pop Embryo just over here, I think, so that we can look at the next figure. He's so gorgeous. Okay, this is how Ripper Roo comes packaged. So we open this up, and look at that, a glorious TNT. You know, I never used TNTs or nitros in any of my animations because the ReSaurus TNTs and nitros just didn't look great. There we go, Sapphire Relic right there. How great is that? It's so amazing that someone's actually made like the TNTs and the nitros of Crash Bandicoot. Like, how incredible is that? So the brown crates could have TNT stickers, and you did get nitro crates, green nitro crates, where you could put the nitro sticker on, but they just never were, you know, it just never looked good. They always peeled off, and I do love the nitros from the ReSaurus figures, but it's just the stickers always peeling off is a problem. So I'd much prefer them to just be solid sculpts like that. Here is Ripper Roo. He's stored in a very funny fashion. Let's get his body out first. Oh, I didn't open the Sapphire Relic. Here it is. Oh! It's gorgeous, isn't it? It's just, it really shines. It really shines. There. Of course, relics were another thing that ReSaurus wanted to make for Series 3. They've done crystals for Series 1, gems for Series 2, and they were going to do relics for Series 3, so that is what VDVortex has lovingly recreated. Okay, here's Ripper Roo's body, trying to fit his legs. Oh, he has a torso swivel as well. His torso moves, that's incredible. Yeah, lovely, lovely, lovely. So like I said, in some places you can see a little bit of stepping, but honestly, the whole thing is absolutely gorgeous, like, just so beautiful. Look at this, and it's got the VDV. A little bit different to Embryo's VDV, actually. He kind of changed the logo a little bit for that one. Ripper Roo, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was his first figure that he made. And look at the back, little details here, little buckles on the back. Remember that he hasn't just 3D printed these, you know, he actually sculpted the 3D models as well. Let's see if it stands out. Look how big its feet are. Incredible. And here is the main attraction, Ripper Roo's head. I can't believe I'm holding this. It feels like I've gone into an alternate timeline where ReSaurus actually made the figures. Okay, so here is Ripper Roo's head, and his tongue actually comes out when you get him, and I believe it's up to you to put his tongue in his mouth. I'm not sure how to get that in. Let me see if it's on the instructions, because we also got a Ripper Roo page. Yeah. Here's the Ripper Roo page. Isn't that just beautiful? Yeah. Same thing. Tips. Heads, legs, bust and ears are articulated. Ears are delicate pieces. Be careful. If Ripper Roo's tongue comes out of a seat, don't be alarmed. Set it back in its joint. Apply pressure with a flat part of a screwdriver. Paying attention to the square shape of the hole. Okay, I got it. Thank you, VD. So we need a little screwdriver or some kind of tool. Find a tool. Maybe something a little bit nicer than a screwdriver. I think I'm going to use this clay tool. Oh yeah, it's supposed to be like this, I think. So put that in like that, and then apply pressure with my tool. Okay, I think I got it in, and I got it in a good position. I just pushed it in with a clay tool, position it, and then pushed it in with a clay tool. Doesn't feel like it's going to go anywhere anytime soon. That's pretty good. Yes. So let's just look at his head. He's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I can see how the ears could break potentially, seeing how kind of small they are. And then you can see again a little bit of a blob there, but no worries. ReSaurus figures also aren't perfect, mind you. No figure is. There we go. Look at that gorgeous little face. His eyes are so crazy. He must have used such a small brush to paint those. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. I mean, the colour of the tongue and everything, it's incredible. Isn't it just, it's just wonderful. Okay, so we take his body, take his head with his little neck pin, hope it focuses, and then just push it in, and then his head swivels. Perfect, look at that. Oh, he's so cool. Well, there you go, there you have it. How amazing is all this? Okay guys, so here are the toys in all their glory. How beautiful do they look? Absolutely spectacular. They're just absolutely wonderful. I couldn't be happier with them. The sculpt is amazing. I think Ripper Roo's head is a little bit wobbly, a little bit loose, but that's fine because his head 360s in the game anyway. So at least we have that feature. And then you have some proper nitro crates this time, not just a green box with a sticker on it, but an actual proper nitro crate and an actual proper TNT, because we could only ever have brown TNTs in the past. And then we've actually got the two, obviously the hero items being... Oh, bloody hell, see, I've just pulled his head off very easily. Embryo's head doesn't pull off, but Ripper Roo's head is a little bit loose. And we have the two hero figures here, looking absolutely amazing. I can't believe he's managed to pull this off and make such convincing ReSaurus figures, essentially. ReSaurus figures that never were. Absolutely beautiful. I'm so over the moon with them, honestly. I'm going to get every single thing that this man produces, any figure that, whatever comes out next, 100%. This is amazing. I'm blown away. let's compare them with some real ReSaurus figures. Okay, here they are scaled up with the genuine ReSaurus figures. You've got Jetpack Crash here on the right. He's standing next to Ripper Roo because, well, I thought they're both animals, and you can kind of see how big he is. He measures up next to Crash. And then Dr. Engine over here on the left-hand side next to Embryo. Of course, they're rivals. I do think Engine is a little bit smaller than Embryo. Embryo is quite tall, so that works really well. Perfect size. Let's turn them back around. Engine's always looking at the floor, so you can't really see his face. And don't they just look absolutely fantastic together? I also got a ReSaurus crate here to compare with a TNT crate and just see, you know, what size they are, if they match up. And as you can see, they match up really perfectly. So no problems there. They will work in this world very, very well, in this ReSaurus Crash Bandicoot world very well. Honestly, if you haven't seen VDVortex's stuff, I'm going to put a link in the description below so you can go over and make your purchases. He also does smaller enemies. I think he's got some skunks out at the minute, so you can go and get those. And, well, I'm sure he has a lot of amazing things coming up in the future. I'll put his Instagram and his Etsy down as well so that you can support a fan who is making incredible art. Wow, what amazing figures. The detail is incredible. You have to see them in person. Anyway, let's go to some beauty shots.